What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel and you're watching Miguel EDC. Today I have an awesome video for you all. That's right, you saw the title and thumbnail. We are analyzing or looking at the Kerhsaw Iridium. Got a chance to unbox this guy on the channel here not that long ago, and I've been having a blast EDCing this guy like crazy over the last 2 weeks, if not more, and I finally have some valuable feedback to share with you guys, and that's going to be on this video. Keep in mind that there are affiliate links in the description for this knife and any other knife that you see in this video. If you want to go ahead and check it out, those links to help out the channel at no extra cost to you. I am a little bit under the weather. I'm not sure if you guys can tell that based on my voice, but I'm doing my best here to get this video pushed out to you all. So if that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. Smash that like button for me. And I went ahead and gave this blade a nice wipe here for the review using my break-free CLP. I'm planning on doing a knife maintenance video here coming up pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. So what do we have going on here with the Kerhsaw Iridium? This is one of the newer knives to come out of Kershaw. It came out earlier in 2023, back in January. Let's check out the overall length. I want to say it comes in at 8 inches, pretty close or borderline there, at exactly 8 inches total overall length, a total of 3.5 on the total blade, whereas cutting edge is going to be a little bit more to, a little bit closer to 3 3/8. And then as far as the handle goes, that's going to be around 4.5 right there, a little bit under 4.5 inches. Let's do some quick comparisons with this guy here right off the bat, just so you guys can see here, get a visual reference next to the PM2, which is actually not going to be off of the PM2 that much, right? Definitely competes there. Total length. There is the Para 3 as well. A little bit shorter knife indeed, right? So closer to the PM2 than the Para 3. Next we have the Demko 80-20.5 on the clip point blade, and of course the sibling here, the Demko 80-20.5 on the short foot, right? These are both going to be probably a little bit smaller overall length, with the clip point being the larger one of the two. Check out some tried and true here, of course the classic Rap Model 1, which is just a behemoth of a knife. It's going to be larger than the Iridium indeed, and the Rap Model 2 is definitely a little bit shorter of a knife. The Civivi Vision FG, I did a unboxing and review on this guy on the channel, and I'm currently EDCing this guy, the Kershaw Heist. So there's an unboxing for this guy and a review coming very soon. And the Kershaw Heist also came out earlier in the year as well. So you guys be the judge there. It's definitely a little bit longer than the Heist and just about the same, if not a hair longer than the FG. And last but not least, here is the Civivi Sentinel Strike. This is a newer knife that I just unboxed in the channel. I'm currently EDCing this guy as well. Review coming on this guy a little bit later in a couple of weeks. And also the MSI from Microtech, also a much larger knife. So both the Microtech and the Sentinel Strike are going to be a little bit larger there on overall length. How's the action on this guy? Well, we have a crossbar lock, which Kershaw calls the DuraLock, and this guy's going to be on Omega springs, so you get actuated right here with the crossbar, just like that. You have a thumb deployment also, which you could activate with your thumb there, and also a thumb stud on the other side for the reverse flick, which is also pretty nice and satisfying. This thing is on very special ball bearings, and the action on this guy, it is so smooth. It is the night and day difference as compared to the Kershaw Heist. So if you haven't seen the unboxing, check out the review on the Heist when I drop that in the channel so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, very smooth action going on this guy. You could do the slow opening as well. As far as the steel here, this is a D2 drop point blade, an in-house design from Kershaw. That's what that logo means right there. D2 being a pretty common steel material at this price range. Could it possibly have been a little bit more premium, something like 14C28N, or something a little bit better like Nitro V? Sure, right? But we'll get more into that a little bit later. As far as handle goes, you have aluminum handles, gray aluminum handles all throughout. The very nice accent bronze looking backspacer, which definitely gives it a pop right there.
Nice.
It looks really good there, no doubt about that. Let's see, length and height here next to some of the other knives. We won't do them all, but again, back at the PM2 or Para 3 and PM2. And I don't know, for consistency purposes, yeah, it's gonna be a slim knife. There's definitely no doubt about that. Quite a slim knife indeed in the pocket. Very elegant, very slim. All right, let's throw a Demko in here. Let's throw a Rap Model 1. So definitely more comparable to the Rap 1. The Demko again is going to be much wider there in the pocket. Rap Model 2 is going to be probably a little bit slimmer just because of the overall knife size. The sibling here, the Kershaw Heist, there it is. Also about the same overall measurements. And last but not least, here is the Vision FG. All right, you guys be the judge there. pretty comparable. Not sure why I have the clip on this guy on the opposite side. I think that's from the Vision FG pocket clip comparison video if you haven't checked that out. As you probably know by now, the pocket clip on the Vision FG is not the best out of the box, and we tried many different pocket clips from many different knives. And yeah, check that video out if you haven't already done so. The pocket carry clip here, which is ambidextrous, which is nice. Not only does it have recessed screws, but the clip itself is recessed as well. So you can see on this side, there's a nice cutout there on the aluminum scale for the clip to be mounted on both, either side, which is nice. The clip is actually very nice. Nothing crazy going on here. A nice drop with a very small swoop going up there. So carry profile here. The Vision FG is going to be a little bit wider indeed with the G10 scales. Model 1, just to give you an idea, it's going to be a little bit wider there indeed because of the exposed liners and G10 scales. 80-20.5 is quite slim, so probably might be narrower than the Iridium by a hair. And last but not least, either the PM2 or Pair 3, those two are going to be the same. If I could just line them up, Miguel. All right, yeah, the Pair 3 is going to be just a little bit wider, if anything. Let's hear some acoustics on this guy here. I'm going to shut up for a second. I want you guys to hear the sound on this guy off of these aluminum scales, and here we go. Very fidgety action, to say the least, going on the Iridium. Indeed, it is nice and lined up there. Blade is nice and centered, no doubt about that. And you have a very nice satin finish going on here, in case I hadn't already mentioned that, with a nice wedge at the top as well, which makes it look really savage in my opinion. And I like how the light reflects off of it in different angles. This knife is manufactured in China. It's a nice little print right there for China. So it is OEM in China by Kershaw. Designed in the US, but OEM in China with D2 steel and aluminum handles. Now, I mentioned earlier, I believe, yeah, the action on this guy is so smooth. These ball bearings put in work. You don't have washers here. We have ball bearings. So deploying this guy open and close is just a very good experience. The crossbar is nice and easy to actuate. I want to say the Omega springs, right, they have just the right amount of tension, and once it is engaged, right, there's no play here going up and down, side to side. Yeah, this thing is rock solid and nice. 9.9 out of 10, right, with a 10 out of 10 being a fixed blade. But yeah, very good, solid action going on. So a quick weight on this guy, let's see, we're coming in at 3.3 ounces, right, and for reference, the Vision FG came in at a little bit more, 4.3. So definitely with those aluminum handles, it's going to be pretty light. I'll give you an example of a knife, again, 3.3 ounces, and another knife that has aluminum handles from Civivi in this case, a little bit of aluminum handles with a little bit of FRN. And this one, the Sentinel Strike, comes in at 3.5. So definitely using aluminum on the scales there on the handle are going to help a ton with the overall weight. There is absolutely no milling on the liners here, and they are nice and recessed. You don't see them from out here, right? They're nice and recessed, nice and tucked in, which really helps with the overall aesthetics, right? So no milling necessary. The only milling there is right over here for the Omega springs, but that's about it. And obviously that's functional and that is needed. But yeah, nice recessed liners with no milling of any kind. Let's do a quick blade stock thickness. It is coming in at 0.11 inches. 0.11 inches here on the thickest portion. And I want to say maybe the part right before the bevel or edge, right, is going to be, the part right before the edge is going to be around 0.02. All right, this guy does have a flat grind going on up until this middle point right there. And then that switch right there, which should provide some relief there when making those cuts. Something to keep in mind. Let's do a quick hardware check. As usual, these tools are part of the Strabito tool set. They're linked down below. They're very recommendable, and those links do help out the channel at no extra cost to you. All right, I want to say, all right, I'm seeing some small hardware on this guy. So perhaps T6 and T8. I want to say hopefully there's more T8 than T6, but it has some body screws here. Those are definitely going to be T6. Really wish that they were T8 instead, but hey, what can you do, right? And as far as the pivot goes, that's definitely going to be a T8. Yeah, TA right there on the pivot. And pocket clip screws, those are going to be T6 as well. Yeah, so Yeah, T6 everywhere except on the pivot, which is T8. So what has the experience been EDC in this guy? I want to tell you, I'm being very, very honest, not even exaggerating it one bit. I've had a blast EDC in this knife. And by the way, I purchased this knife with my own money. I knew I was in love with it ever since it came out. So I was just waiting for the right time. Picked it up not that long ago. And man, oh man, does it feel like money well spent. I love the action a ton. I look how fidgety it is. I like how elegant it is too. Very, very elegant, very ergonomically friendly, right? You have a nice little, like a round finger choil here as part of the handle. So you still have plenty of handle left. I have like medium to large hands. And then if you want a forward choke, I would say you want to be a little bit careful because you're going to be right up on the corner of the edge there. And it's not quite as round as other knives. I'll give you an example here, like the Sentinel Strike. Check out how nice and round that finger choil is. That is not the case right here. You guys be the judge. Let me show you what I mean. Right, nice round finger choil here, right? Not quite a finger choil going on the Iridium. So perhaps a missed opportunity there. Perhaps it was intentional. We don't know. Some very simplistic and minimal jimping going on here in the spine of the blade, which is nice and elegant. They didn't overdo it. You can rest your thumb there and provide extra pressure when making those bushcrafting or utility cuts and things like that. These aluminum handles feel really, really good. They're nice and smooth, right? Perhaps not the grippiest of handles since it's not anything like G10 or anything like that. But if you're looking for a smooth knife, something that's not gonna beat up your hands, right? If you're looking for something more, casual to carry, if you're not, actually building a tent outside or doing some hardcore surviving, then this is a nice, elegant carry option that should go pretty well with a lot of different combinations. Again, this gray here goes with pretty much everything. The nice bronze spacer there provides for a very wide lanyard hole there if you're into that, for like the 3 or 4 people out there that still do lanyards on their knives. Again, I'm not hating that. You do you. You do you, my friend. So let's talk about some cons, right? So what are some possible cons on this guy? Well, I think it revolves around, again, we talked about the D2 steel perhaps being a little bit better steel. And the only other thing to perhaps consider is the Omega springs. Now, I personally haven't had any Omega springs give out or break on me up until this point. I've been into knives for a little bit over a year now and uploading here since the beginning of the year, 2023. And I have quite a few Omega spring knives and none of them have given me any trouble. I feel like these are nice and easy to work with, so we'll have to see long term how they hold. And the only other thing too, with any crossbar lock is a disassembly process, right? So when you do take out a knife with Omega springs, you might want to do it under a piece of plastic Tupperware or something like that, so those springs don't fly half across the room, and then you have a nice 1 hour to 2 hour scavenger hunt experience trying to find out where it went. But yeah, aside from that, those are the only things that I could possibly think of, right? It only offers tip-up carry, right? Only tip-up carry on either side. There's no tip-down option here. That's another thing that I noticed. And again, if you're still doing tip-down for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but you do you again. And yeah, this wouldn't be the knife for you in that case. And if we're really nitpicking here, I would have liked some bigger hardware, right? Some bigger hardware would have been nice. That's about it. Again, this knife feels really good on the hand. It is nice and comfortable, very ergonomically friendly, and you can certainly put some good work with this guy, no doubt about that. It is definitely going to perform, and D2 is going to be reasonable, easy to sharpen. It is not corrosion resistant, so this nice and beautiful satin finish here, you want to keep this guy very clean and maybe put some break-free CLP on your blades from time to time just to keep them nice and clean and away from corrosion, because D2 is not corrosion resistant. Overall, a great balance of form and function is what you're getting with this guy. Very usable form. These are knife lines that have been on knives for years and years. These lines work. It's not like this knife tried to copy another knife, right? You guys are probably in the comments saying, hey, this looks like the insert knife here, right? Oh, that looks like the Benchmade bug out. But no, it doesn't. The Benchmade bug out looks like a bajillion different knives that came out way before the Benchmade bug out did. So again, very functional knife, in my opinion. Very, very elegant. The thumb studs feel good and comfortable to deploy. It is nice and smooth. The crossbar lock, you could easily use it with one finger. So I could either use my thumb here to engage and disengage, or my index, right? So if I wanted to deploy with just my index, I could do that, right? And close, or my thumb only. Now, of course, it's better if you use both, because then you're keeping the bar as straight as possible over time. You wouldn't want any sort of disalignment there to happen over time. Spear point or drop point, right? You guys be the judge. Call the blade police on me if you want. That's okay. So take your flavor of the week, whichever one you want to go with. And yes, flat grind going on this guy. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the crossbar lock, which is what this guy had going on here under its own name, under Kershaw, the DuraLock. These are some of the strongest locking mechanisms, right? Not the strongest, not by a landslide, but it is indeed a very strong and reliable locking mechanism. So it is strong and it will hold the blade in place, as you saw, right? I tested it. That blade isn't going anywhere. And again, we'll have to test those Omega springs over time. But so far, they have been really, really good. And you slow deploy this guy, reverse flick, bam. And also, another great thing about this guy is the price, right? So this guy comes in around $50 to $55, I believe. I picked this guy off of Amazon. Again, there are links in the description for this guy if you want to check it out, which help out the channel at no extra cost to you. Pick this guy up from Amazon. Again, you have peace of mind that if something doesn't work out, you could very easily return it, right? No hassle, no pressure. And I want to say for the price, right, it is a pretty affordable knife. You're actually getting a very solid budget knife. I want to say as we get closer to the end of the year, I'm going to do my top budget knives of 2023. This guy is certainly going to be in that list without a shadow of a doubt. This guy will make it there because it just has so much going for it for the price. Could the blade have been a little bit, better steel? Could we perhaps have gotten a Nitro V, right, or 14C 28N? A lot of people don't like D2 as much these days as they used to a couple of years ago. And I can kind of see where they come from, right, for the price. Again, keep in mind it's a budget knife. I believe there was a titanium version of this guy, which was a website exclusive. Now that would have been a nice one to pick up. I believe they did it in 390, M390 or 20 CV. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely a discontinued premium version was dropped exclusive to the Kershaw website. That would have been a sweet one to check out. But yeah, for what you're getting here, again, pretty common D2 steel, like your Civivi Elementums and whatnot. Those come with D2. It's one of the most popular knives out there, right? This thing came out swinging when it came out. Very popular knife. Again, I kind of wish I hadn't waited so long to pick one up because I feel like, this is a very sweet piece. Not going to break the bank. Very, very impressed with this guy. I definitely recommend it. It is one of my best acquisitions for 2023. And I just can't wait to EDC this guy every time I see it in my rotation. It is one of the knives that I look forward to the most. And it is nice and elegant. The billboarding isn't too crazy. They have Kershaw on the blade, Kershaw also on the pocket clip. So if they could maybe dial the Kershaw back a little bit, that would be appreciated. If you're okay with that, then that wouldn't be a big deal for you at all. Of course, we want to do a quick paper cutting test on this guy. Rate it on the comments from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy? Bam. Yeah, this thing is not wasting any time. I want to say throughout the EDC, use that I gave it, I definitely cut some cardboard, paper, packages, mail that came in, all that good stuff. Of course, I didn't go camping with my knife or anything like that. I just do regular, general, day-to-day EDC tasks around the house, around the office here. And this guy definitely did a really, really good job. Let's do some cardboard here for fair measure. And we're cutting cardboard. Don't cut perpendicular like this, but rather at an angle like that. And here we go. Let me get some leverage on my other hand. Bam, there it is. All right, I want to say what happened there is I actually cut the cardboard offside of the edge right there in this little section. That is user error. Let's try that again. Boom. Bam. And one last one. Boom. All right, there you have it, guys. You be the judge. Let me know in the comments. All right, conclusion time. Would I recommend this knife? Absolutely. Yes, I would recommend this guy 100%. It's been a blast to EDC. It would not break the bank. It is certainly affordable, and the fidget factor is there if that's something that you care about. It is a nice knife to deploy and close with a very strong locking mechanism there to go along with it. A very nice Slicy flat grind drop point blade as well, and the very light, smooth, and elegant handles on this guy. So definitely have quite the package. Very, very good, very well thought out, right? For the money, they came out with a banger with this knife when they rolled it out. And yeah, the sales speak for themselves. This is one of Kershaw's most popular knife, and it just came out this year. So if you don't already have one of these in your arsenal, you are missing out. Check it out. Keep in mind, if you get it off of Amazon or something like that, you could always return it if you don't like it. But I'm pretty sure that you're going to have a blast. You're going to really enjoy this guy, and it's going to be one of those knives to be a W, to be a win for the knife community. for the knife community in 2023. Certainly no doubt about that. Again, affiliate links out in the comments if you want to check it out, right? Those help out the channel at no extra cost to you. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed, anything that you would like to know, any additional piece of information that is keeping you up at night and is not letting you sleep. Let me know, right? Let's have a chat down in the comments. By the way, at this point, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, please do so. As you can probably tell from my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather, not feeling the greatest, but here I am pushing out this content for you all. Hopefully you guys can appreciate that. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Check out the unboxing on both the MSI from Microtech and the Civivi Sentinel Strike. I'm going to put a card here for both of these so you can check out whichever one you want. These are sweet knives that I'm so excited to EDC as well, and there'll be reviews for these coming out very soon. Thank you guys for making it to the end. I love you all. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to all my Patreons for supporting me. And if you made it to the end, you guys are the real MVP. Love you and have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.